Welcome back to First Take. We go back to the NBA. Despite playing without both Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, the Thunder were able to put an end to the Cavaliers' 7-game win streak with a 121-113 victory on Sunday. Isaiah Joe picked up the slack for OKC, finishing with a game-high 22 points. But does the result say more now about the Thunder or the Cavs? S.A., what do you think?
Well, before I go any further, I have some breaking news, all right, here on First Take. You know, it's just apropos for me to bring this up. Perk, as y'all know, I mean, you know, Vinny, you my boys, and Shay, you've been working with me. You know, I'm climbing up there in age, you know, but I don't look like it. I don't look like it. Now, obviously, when you're the youngest of 6 and you have 4 older sisters the way that I do, it's very, very, very difficult, Shay, to get a compliment. That's why I could take insults, because my sisters trained me because they've been insulting me all my life. My sister Carmen just sent me this text. I hate to tell you this because your head is only going to swell, but you look really good, fresh, and well-rested.
Oh, God.
Hair is nice and a little curly as well. So I wanted to dime my sister out. I get these compliments like once a decade, guys. I get these compliments like once a decade from my sisters. So I had to hold on to it. You understand what I'm saying? I had to grab it. So I apologize to the First Take producers for veering away from all of that. But it was just a moment. It's once in a decade. I had to grab it. Thanks, Calm. Love you, sis. Love you. Anyway, here's the deal, y'all. Shay, here's the deal. I think this victory right here by Oklahoma City, that's what you're asking me, right? I think this says more about the Cavaliers than the Thunder, and I'm going to tell you why. We want to believe in the Cavs. We looked at Vinny just talking about how he would have the Celtics even beating the Cavs, but not necessarily the Knicks. And then a result like last night, you see why. Because they won 7 straight, and then they go into Oklahoma, then they go against Oklahoma City, and you lose without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, both of them out, and Donovan Mitchell and James Harden are there, and you still lose to Case and Wallace, to Lou Dort. I mean, I love these cats. Don't get me wrong. They're champions. But you got Case and Wallace. You got Lou Dort. You got Isaiah Joe. That's what you lost to? That's why we got questions about Cleveland. That's all I want to say.
Go ahead, Vinny. No Caruso in that game either, by the way.
I think when you look at the Cavs schedule and who they've played leading up to this point, they needed this loss. So I won't say it was fool's gold, but you played Sacramento, you played Brooklyn, you played Indiana. You didn't play great teams. This was by far the best competition that Cleveland has played, not only through the streak, but since they acquired James Harden. They got jumped on early, like in the first 5 minutes, before you could even sit down and adjust to the game. They were down 16, so I'm not surprised at the result. Remember also, the Thunder without Alex Caruso, in addition to J-Dub and SGA. I think the questions you have about the Cavs are going to be real until they actually do it. They are the one team, I think, that if we see them in the conference finals, if you just were to fast forward and see them there, you'd be like, man, how'd they get there? You won't just accept it the way that you can see it with Detroit, with Boston, with New York. Cleveland has the talent, but I think they have more to prove than anybody, and games like this highlight that.
Definitely. Perk?
This game was more about the Thunder. I mean, let's just keep it real. The Thunder over the last month and a half, they've been looking funny in the light. Like, we've been questioning, can they make it out of the West and repeat? I know they're dealing with injuries, but they needed this win. They needed to send a statement. And also, they had that old saying, iron sharpens iron. The Thunder also know that they got a guy by the name of Victor Wembanyama in the San Antonio Spurs that are trying to come up and get that #1 spot that is sitting at #2. So they know that they got to continue to smash the gas so that they could get home court at least throughout the Western Conference, because they understand that if they have a Game 7 in any series, they want it in OKC. So I said this was more about the Thunder, especially with them going to get a win without SGA and J-Dub. They got back to who they are, and that's defensive dogs, and they getting their identity back. So although I get what Stephen A. and Vinny is saying about Cleveland, that real test in the reality check, but this was more about the Thunder because the Thunder have been looking real shaky over the last month and a half, and yesterday afternoon was a great quality win and a warning shot to let the league know we're still here.
Yeah, almost like they're learning how to win without SGA. Since January 14th, Cavs are 0-2 against the Thunder. They're 14-1 against all other teams. Coming up here on First Take.
When we say the Thunder can still win without
SGA, no problem.
No Jalen. Well, like no problem at all. The 7-game win streak for the Cavs is over. 121-113 your final. Casey Wallace finishes with 20, career-high 10 assists. See, yeah, a lot of street clothes happening there. The fact that the Thunder can beat the Cavs the way they did yesterday, again, with all those men on the bench.
It's crazy.
That's terrifying, yeah?
And that's why I never want to discredit SGA when we start talking about the MVP
Never.
because he is that guy and he is more than qualified this year to win it. Again, they're just such a deep, good, versatile team that they can find ways to win games even without SGA, even without Jalen Williams. It's next man up mentality. It's guys like Isaiah Joe who are one of the better shooters in the NBA that doesn't even get the opportunity, every single night. Aaron Wiggins, these guys are real players. AJ Mitchell, he's a guy who I think should win Most Improved Player just because he kind of went from not much production to this year.
Yeah.
And he's not a high draft pick. He's one of these guys who never like that to me as a Most Improved Player. It's just the system. It's the coaching staff. It's the rotations. It's everything. They just nail it down. It's next man up. They defend. They could beat you in so many different ways. Chet was great last night, 17, 15. So, again, SGA is spectacular, but this team is so deep and so solid that they could beat anybody even without them.
It's a little...
It's crazy.
It's a system win, according to Richard Jefferson,
But that's what you get when you have a team full of guys that are bought in. And we always credit Sam Presti for going out and finding the right guys that fit the mold of an organization that you're trying to build out, the culture that you're trying to build out. And he's done it flawlessly, even down to Jerry McCain, going to get him in a trade, right?
Great trade.
Another guy that's fitting in to what they've been able to build. So even when you have guys out of the lineup, and especially your best guys, when you have everybody that's bought in, sometimes, and Chandler, you've played on teams, if your best guys are out, you kind of hang your head like, all right, well, let's figure it out. These guys, we probably can beat anybody. And they just keep moving, and they look at it as just like, listen, let our guys rest. We'll hold it down until you come back. They don't have their hang-the-head culture. They have a culture where they feel like they've built solid bricks that can get them through any game. And last night it showed it. They played a good quality Cavaliers team and beat them.
It's a hockey shift change.
No Mitchell.
Legit,
Shot the hell out of the basketball.
By the way, not even just SGA and Jalen Williams. No Caruso, no Mitchell.
Yeah. Remember at the beginning of the season, we were sort of like, hey, if you took the quote-unquote B squad of the Thunder, where would they finish come playoff time? Where are we now?
Well, I think we were if they were in the East, I think we were
I'd say the West.
Even the West.
I was going to say,
They're in the West.
You can go West.
Why not?
So we talked about Topic at all. This dude had cancer and he's back playing in the NBA.
No, we really haven't.
It is unbelievable what that kid's doing. The fact that he's even back so quickly and on the floor in an NBA game and doing what he's doing.
Is this the same kid that they drafted and came over a year later?
Yes.
Wow.
And he had to deal with all badness.
They strike on every accord they strike.
And then even the Jerry McCain, I feel like we didn't even talk about, I think it was a first-round pick next year and then a couple of seconds. This guy was a runaway rookie of the year last year, got hurt, didn't find his rhythm again this year, and then they just get him? That is a great
That's exactly what happened. They did just get him.
It's insane.
Okay, so here's my question, because again, I am gun shy when we talk about the Cavs just because of how last season ended. I can't. Fool me once. But then they lose like they did last night or yesterday. And we already know about the playoff struggles. We know about Harden's playoff resume. Lou, how sure are you come playoffs with Cleveland?
I'm open-minded since the trade.
Good for
right?
you.
I'm open-minded since the trade because everybody deserves a fresh, fair shake, especially when you add somebody as talented as James Harden to a team that's already talented. But it's fair to say you can have your concerns about him in the playoffs. It's fair to say you can have your concerns about Cleveland in the playoffs. But together, we really don't know. And we've only gotten a sample size. We haven't had a month worth of basketball with him being a Cleveland Cavalier. So I want to give them a fair shake. I do think that they check all of the boxes from top to bottom, from coaching down to the players. And I think they're still building the rhythm. I think they're still trying to find different things. Last game I saw something. It was about 8 seconds left, and they subbed Donovan Mitchell and James Harden back in the game to get the last shot. And it's only one of them can, only one of them's going to shoot the ball. The guy ends up missing the free throw. They throw it out to James Harden, and he flips it back to Donovan Mitchell. The James Harden I know, he's going to take the ball up the court. He's going to make some shake, right?
Interesting.
So they're still trying to figure out the best way that they can coexist and play the best that they can. I think James Harden is bought into what Cleveland is doing. I think Donovan Mitchell is excited to have him there as a running mate. So I still got faith. I still have an open mind about these guys making some real noise in the
That's why I love you, Lou. You can have an open mind about things, and that's a good trait.
And I think
half full cup guy.
I think James Harden is in the perfect spot in his career where he can help this team. And like Lou said, he can buy into what they're doing. He can buy in to make this championship run. He's okay with being maybe a little passive for Donovan Mitchell to take the game-winning shot. Like, they also added Keon Ellis and they added Dennis Schroeder. They lost DeAndre Hunter. Obviously, he's out for the season now. So that's,
Schroeder's play well for them.
And Darius Garland, I feel like there was always this kind of disconnect there where he was going to be the guy that was going to get moved. So I do think the Cavs got better at the deadline. They're such a dangerous team offensively. Lou mentioned that they coach. They're well coached. They can defend. But this is a dangerous team that I don't think anybody in the East is going to want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's not like you're trying to line up to get Cleveland in the first round.
Oh, I agree with that.
Like, you don't want Cleveland in the first round. Say whatever you want to say, but you don't want this to be your first round matchup. So with that, that's respect to me. And if these guys get that type of respect, they got another 60 to 75 days to figure it out and get on the same page and make a real run.
Man, we really are down to it, huh? Kind of crazy. The Evan Mobley of it all. Do you think that having I almost called him Handley. Hey, James Harden there is going to be something where, because I think with Evan Mobley, nobody's doubting his potential, his talent, what he can do. I think people are just sort of waiting for him to take that next step.
Yeah, I think it's great for him. I think it's great for him and Jared Allen. James Harden's a guy that kind of spoon feed you at the rim. He's always going to look for the lob. He's always going to find you. As aggressive and as great of a scorer as he is, I had my best year playing alongside him. Like, he can get you involved. He can make things easier for you. So obviously Evan Mobley, he can expand his game and kind of create more for himself, more so than a Jared Allen. But I think both of these guys are going to eat more at the rim, in pick and roll, in lob situations, to where the game will just come much easier to them. So yes, I think that's going to help him a lot, because Donovan Mitchell, as great as he is, he's more of a scorer than a playmaker facilitator. James Harden can do a little bit more, facilitating, making things easier for these guys.
Yeah, and also, if you look at those clips right there, we got him setting screens 25, 30 feet away from the rim. If they can figure out a way to keep him 18 feet within, I think he becomes even more efficient, especially with a James Harden when he becomes a lob threat, when he becomes a pick and roll threat. But if you got him 30 feet away from the rim, that kind of limits what he's able to bring to the table for you and be able to be impactful for you. So if they can figure out a way to keep him inside the three-point line, even if he's going to take guys off the dribble, this and that, I think you see an even better version of Evan Mobley if you do that.
Like last year, he made such a leap and made such a jump, and I feel like another one was coming, and for whatever reason, it hasn't yet.
I think that's what we're waiting on. I think everyone knows, which is, by the way, a great thing, that people assume you have another step.
We just know there's like another level of greatness with him.
It's there, Evan. You've got this. A little bit of a stunner up the road a little bit. Golden State
Totally
beating Denver.